We would like to call your attention this morning to the book of 2 Samuel, the 23rd chapter and the 4th verse. And he shall be as the light of the morning.
Oh, yes.
When the sun riseth.
Sunrise.
Even a morning without clouds.
Lord, have mercy.
As the tender grass springing out of the earth by clear shining after rain.
Oh, yes, yes.
Let us read it again. And he shall be as the light of the morning.
It shall be like the light of
when the sun riseth.
Yes, sunrise.
Even a morning without clouds.
Yes.
As the tender grass springing out of the earth by clear shining after rain.
Yeah, after rain.
Our subject this morning, clear shining
Yes.
after rain.
Yes.
Clear shining
Yeah.
after rain.
Yeah.
These are the last words of the second king of Israel, King David.
Yeah.
He had come to the end of his life and is uttering these final words. But we're not approaching this particular theme today from David's point of view,
Lord, have mercy.
but we're going to deal specifically with our subject,
Servant.
clear shining after rain.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth.
Oh, yes, yes.
As you have oft-time heard me say, on the first day of creation, he created the light.
Oh, yes. Lord, have mercy.
On the second day, he created the firmament.
Oh, yes.
On the third day, he created the land, trees, and the waters.
Yes, yes.
On the fourth day, he created the sun, moon, and stars.
Yes, Lord Jesus.
On the fifth day, he created the fishes of the mighty deep
Yes.
and the birds of the air.
Yes. Lord, have mercy.
On the sixth day, he created the animals to roam the forest and the woods.
Yes. Lord, have mercy.
And late that evening, he made man
Amen. Oh, yes.
in his own image and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life.
Yes.
And man became a living soul.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
When God placed man in the Garden of Eden,
Oh, yes.
he didn't have to want for nothing.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Everything was at man's disposal.
Yes. Lord, have mercy.
He didn't have to worry about how the Garden of Eden would be watered,
Yes. Yes.
whereas the trees and the shrubbery could be kept green and moist.
Lord, have mercy.
For there were 4 rivers
Yes.
that flowed through the garden
Yes. Yes.
and kept all of the vegetation green.
Green. Yes.
But now, when man ate of the forbidden fruit
Yes.
and sinned in the Garden of Eden,
Yes.
thereafter the lion roared the first time.
Yes. Yes.
The bear growled for the first time.
Yes.
The panther squealed for the first time.
Yes. Lord Jesus.
The snake bit for the first time.
Yes.
And it rained
Yes.
for the first time.
Oh, yes.
Prior to man's sin in the Garden of Eden,
Yes.
there's no writing about it raining.
Yes.
Didn't rain until after we sinned. So therefore we can draw as a conclusion that rain
Oh, yes.
is one of the results of sin.
Yes. Lord, yes.
For it didn't rain until after we had sinned in the Garden of Eden.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Prior to the sinning of man, there was no cloud.
Lord, yes.
In the paradistical celestial,
Yes.
there was not a speck of cloud in the sky.
Yes.
But after we sin, then it rains.
Oh, yes.
Yes, my brothers and sisters, when God destroyed the world the first time, he destroyed the world with rain. For it rained for 40 days and 40 nights. And the only survivors were Noah, his family, and 2 beasts of every kind. Everything else had drowned. Everything that creepeth upon the earth had been killed as a result of the rain. As a result of the rain. Now, the fact that God had destroyed the world by rain, he looked at how dreadful and how hard man died. And it hurted him to see his creation, his own image, drown. Thus God made a promise to himself and said that he would never destroy the world again by rain. Therefore God took some light from the rays of the sun and painted that light with his finger, red, white, blue, green, yellow, and orange. And we know it as the rainbow. Slung it up behind his shoulder and made it serve as a symbol to never let man die again by the rain. You gonna pray with me, aren't you? Well, what's wrong with you all this morning? By the rain. Yes, but now even though rain may be classed as one of the penalties of sin, it is still of great significance and importance. For we need rain. We need rain for both physical and spiritual reasons. Now, watch me now. Before rain can be formulated, it goes through a unique and unusual process. The sun, S-U-N, is the essential mechanism in the formation of rain. The way rain is formed, according to science, the sun shines to the earth, and the rays draws the water from the earth. It draws the water from the ocean, from the rivers, and from the lakes. And while it draws the water back up to the sun, and the temperature is steadily going down and then coming up, the clouds are formed. And with the steady movement of the temperature, the clouds become filled. And when they get so full, it rains. Now, spiritually, let's look at it spiritually. The sun, not S-U-N this time, but S-O-N, the sun, the anointed one, the Messiah, the Christ, the Son of God, is the center of our lives. And this sun draws. Didn't he say in the Bible, if you lift me up, I'll draw all men unto me. The sun draws. And this son who I'm talking about, who is Jesus, draws those old jealous waves from our heart. All of those evil thoughts from our mind. All those old low-down habits and low-down ways we got. He draws it from our heart. And then when he draws it, he forms it into a cloud and turns it back into rain. And can send the rain spiritually in the form of trials and tribulation. The sun. The sun. So then we may assume that the rain symbolizes trouble, and the sun symbolizes joy, happiness, and gladness. We need both of them. We need to have rain, some trials and tribulation, and then we need to have some sunshine, some joy, happiness, and gladness. Rain is necessary to all life. After a long hot spell, and it rains, nature undergoes a revival of life. The farmers have hopes for a harvest. The plants and trees become green again. Streams that have been baked almost dry by the long hot summer sun refill and make it possible for the fishes to swim again. In like manner, my brothers and sisters, so do we need the rain of trouble. We need the rain of trials and tribulation, because trouble draws you closer to God. Most of us don't think about praying until something goes wrong. We don't think about it. As long as we've got a dime or two in the bank, long as we have a home, a car to ride in, we don't say our prayers. But let something go wrong. Let some rains of obstacles and barriers fall on us, and we'll bow on our knees. It's good to have a little trouble. Yes, sir. If it were not for the rain of darkness and trouble, Job never would have said, I know that my Redeemer lives. If it were not for the rain of the fiery furnace, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego never would have witnessed God as their companion. If it were not for Jonah being picked up and swallowed by a whale and carried to the bottom of the sea, he never would have gone to Nineveh and preached. No, he wouldn't. If it had not been for Jacob having had the trouble of wrestling with the angel all night long, he never would have been able to meet his brother Esau. Yes, if it were not for Elijah's brook running dry and his raven stopping bringing him food, he never would have rained down fire on Mount Carmel. So to have trouble is good. But now, on the other hand, we need some sunshine. We need to have some sunshine sometimes. Sometimes it can be too much rain. When it rains too much, the swollen rivers overflow their banks. The waters rush over the river valley and uproot trees, sweeping away homes and buildings. In like manner, so is it with a child of God. You need to be happy sometime. Don't you? You need to understand why some Christians of God complain and cry all the time. Never look good. Never smile. Never have a pleasing disposition. You ought to be happy sometime. If you have some trouble all the time, there's something wrong with you. Something wrong with you. There ain't nothing wrong with the Lord, it's you. You don't have some trouble sometime. Let us look at another thing about rain. Rain is always falling somewhere on the earth. It's not raining in Atlanta now, but it's raining somewhere. If it's raining, still be raining somewhere else. Oh, here's what I'm trying to show. We cry sometimes because we have trouble, but we're not the only ones. There's someone else having trouble. And more than likely, you're better off than somebody else. There's always somebody worse off than you are. So don't cry all the time. And don't complain all the time. Yes, sir. No matter how hard, no matter how perplexed your problems may become, you're not the only one. Somebody else is having some dark days. Somebody else is having some chaotic days. Yes, sir. I know you ask yourself sometimes, why do I have to cry sometimes? I don't understand, Lord, why I have to moan sometimes. I don't understand why my heart must bleed sometimes. But like the Negro says in his spiritual, by and by, when the morning comes, we will understand it all better. By and by. By and by. You might be sick, but hold on to God's unchanging hand, because one day the sun is going to shine. You see, all sickness is not death. All 12 o'clocks are not midnights. All goodbyes don't mean you're gone. All clouds don't mean it's going to rain. But behind every rainy day, the sun is going to shine. It's going to shine. I guess I better close here now by telling you, it is said that once upon a time, there was a Negro who lived in the state of Alabama. And this Negro was known as John. He was a sharecropper on Mr. Charlie's plantation. And Mr. Charlie would let John work all year. And then at the end of the year, when he brought his money and his profits to take out, Mr. Charlie would take out what he was supposed to have. So John had a good season. And he had about $2,100 that he had made from his crops for that year. And John started on his way down to Mr. Charlie's house. And when he walked in, he said, Mr. Charlie, here are all my receipts. And here is the money that I have made. And he laid the $2,100 on Mr. Charlie's desk. And when he laid it on the desk, for some reason or another, Mr. Charlie's heart was touched with love. And he said to him, son, John, you've been a good worker. And for all these years, I want you to take this so for what had done. My Lord, and he looked and saw a sign on a tree. And the sign that was on the tree said, this farm is for sale for $2,100. My Lord. And John went and talked to the proprietor of that farm and said, if you still want to sell it, my Lord. John counted the man out $2,100. and went on home where his wife and children were, and told them to come on. We've got a home now. We've got a farm of our own. So that year, John worked hard, and he planted all of his cotton, and he planted all of his corn, and planted wheat and all the grain that he could. Yeah. And John walked out on his field one morning and saw that his corn was tall and green. Yeah. Looked at all his grain, and it looked good to him. Ready. Looked at all of his cotton, and his cotton was thick and white. Great God. And John whispered a prayer to the Lord and said, Lord, all I want you to do for me is let me get the money back that I put into my business. Good God, I don't care if I don't get no profit. No, but all I want you to do is let me get back what I put in. Good day. So that night when John went to bed, a tornado came through his place, and all of his corn was torn down. Good God. All his wheat and grain was uprooted, and somehow or another the bull whipped all his cotton. Good day. And when John walked out on his field the next morning, he looked around and saw all that had happened. And you know his heart was heavy, and tears began to roll down and lap under his chin. Good God. And John cried and said, why, Lord, did it have to happen to me? Great day. So while he was standing out on the field, John looked out across his plantation, and the sun was shining on some metal substance, and the reflection of that light began to shine up in John. When he turned to the left and when he turned to the right, he couldn't help but see the reflection from that light. And John decided that he would walk over to see what it was. Lord God. When he got there, he got a shovel and began to dig around that shining object. But the more John dug, the larger it got. Good day. He kept on digging. It got larger as he dug. Oh, Lord. And after a while, John got his pick and hit that object. Picked it up, and it looked like gold. Lord God, what John did, he went on to town to the goldsmith, and the goldsmith put the gold in the smelting pot, and let all the earth ball off it. Looked over and saw the reflection of his face in that gold. Came back and told John, you got a gold mine on your farm. Lord God. John went on home, told his wife, don't cook no more. God done blessed us. We got a gold mine. Yes, we have. Told his boys, don't plow no more. We got a gold mine. Yes, we have. Behind every cloudy day, the sun sure will shine. Yes, it will. All you have to do, bow down on your knee. Say, oh, Father, I am your child. You are my Father. Oh, Father, for you. Oh, bread in a starving land. Oh, my water in dry places. Oh, yeah! Yes, he will. He will make a way. The sun will shine one day. You might be on your sick bed now, but ask the Lord, and he will make a way. Don't you know he'll make a way? So many times my way been dark. So many times something blocks me in my way. Oh, Lord, he will make a way. Make a way for me. Make a way for me. He will make a way. Your way might be dark. Look like you may not have a friend in the world. Look like the storms might gonna wash you away. You might not think you have nobody on your side.